if I can start the meeting by welcoming everyone. Um, my name's David Smith, and I'm standing in for Sarah Birch, our chair, who was otherwise indisposed with family affairs. Um, we've got a two-part session today. The first session is looking at the Compass manifesto, and we're very pleased that Dan is with us today. The second part of the meeting will be looking at cooperative early years learning with Chrissy and Alison. So if we could actually start with you, Dan, and if you could introduce yourself. I know you're widely known, but it's always nice to um, inform other people of your um charm and benefits that you can offer us. Thank you.
Well, we'll see about that. But yeah, I'll start sharing my screen. So I'm Daniel Roberts. I'm a Senior Policy and Engagement Officer at CWMPAS. I'm sure most people will have heard of or worked with CWMPAS before, but we're a cooperative development agency that has been working in Wales for over 40 years. And we work to develop cooperative and social enterprise models within Wales. Um, so yeah, my role within Compass is working on policy and engagement. So taking the expertise and the experiences within the organisation and my colleagues who work with communities and with businesses and cooperative organisations every day to develop this part of the economy and trying to make sure that there's as effective a support environment for them as possible in Wales, and the role that government and lots of other stakeholders can play in facilitating that. So obviously next year's Senate elections are, really crucial and a really big opportunity for us to put cooperative models, at the heart of the policy agenda and demonstrate that actually, these models and that this way of working and the values that come with it can be a crucial part to solving lots of the challenges that Wales faces. Um, this more than ever is probably, a really important election for a variety of reasons. I think one element that's really important for me is that the Welsh government and Wales as a whole has got a really robust kind of framework at the moment, obviously kind of centered on the Wellbeing Future Generations Act, and there's a really strong policy and legislative framework for this type of work in Wales, and moving towards that wellbeing economy. We need to make sure that co-op and social business models more generally are seen as a really big asset in delivering that, the goals within that legislation. Um, Even beyond Wales, it's a really crucial time at the moment and a really big opportunity. We've seen things like the UN International Year of Co-ops, also the UK government commitment to doubling the size of the sector. It's really key that Wales is proactive in leading on this. And there is a scenario where the size of the cooperative economy is doubled across the UK, but that isn't really reflected within Welsh communities. What we want to see is that there's that proliferation of these models from the bottom up within Welsh communities, and that Wales leads the way on this. And I think the election and the policy focus that comes from that is a real opportunity to make sure that happens. And recently as well, we saw the Pride in Places announcement from the UK government and the really big opportunities from that. There's going to be the setting up of the cooperative development unit within the UK government. So lots going on, and it's really important that Wales uses this opportunity when people are engaged to talk about how can we make sure that Wales is playing a really leading role on cooperative development as well. There is a kind of growing consensus, I think, that that co-ops and social businesses have a really crucial role to play. So, drawing on the Future Generations report that was released a few months ago, that's the Wellbeing Future Generations Commissioner's, policy report, which comes, before the election. That recommended, a real focus on social business models, and actually a target to double the size of the social business economy in Wales, and also cooperative development as well. So that's the context. There's a lot of big challenges at the moment, but also lots of growing consensus and lots of opportunity. So this manifesto from CWMPAS is kind of us showcasing using that experience and the amazing work that my colleagues do to support this development in Wales, drawing on that expertise and us setting out how can this be done, what can Wales do to really lead the way. So I will say, this manifesto is, we're kind of seeing it as an anchor document. I'm not expecting that many people to read the whole document, if I'm completely honest. because what we're trying to do with it is showing why cooperative models and the social business models that we can support can be, it's not one line in a manifesto, it's a value that can be embedded throughout. So all the challenges that Wales faces, all the areas that we know that all parties are going to be talking about, um, cooperatives and that model can be embedded throughout the solutions to those challenges. So this is our offering in that, and different people, with different sectors or different areas of focus will want to focus on specific bits, and we'll have lot more outputs coming out over the next weeks and months. But this is the document that hopefully brings it all together and showcases why this all comes together in a strategic way. So we've got 10 specific asks. If this works. I'm not sure if that's going to start going through quickly, but I'll move on anyway. But the first ask is around um, economic development, and this is an area where cooperatives are often seen. But what we want to see is it moving from being a fringe within the wider economy to being something that can be embedded throughout economic development policy. We've got specific asks around economic development that we want to focus on. The first one being the need for specialist support for social business models. There's a lot of discussion at the moment around the business support kind of infrastructure in Wales, which I think is to be welcomed. And there's also a lot of discussion about the need to mainstream these models within business support environment, which is to be welcomed. What we want is to be mainstreamed as well. There's a potential risk for that if these models are mainstreamed within wider business support, that the specialist capacity and the real focus on the development of these business models could be lost. We're going to have a blog coming out on this next week on the CWMPAS website about the need for specialist support for social business and cooperative models to be maintained and developed. Secondly, on this, an area that I think is really crucial is a paper that we've released a couple of weeks ago on the Cooperative Development Hub. The Cooperative Development Hub is an idea that's been developed, and we think it should be a real priority. Similar to the unit that's being announced at the UK level, the development of a cooperative development hub in Wales would mean that there is, it ensures that there's capacity for cooperative development in Wales. What we've seen at the moment in so we deliver the Social Business Wales programme, which is really highly valued by communities in Wales looking to start social business models. What we're seeing though is that a lot of the demand, which is really high for that service, is coming in the form of social business models or social enterprise models, and we haven't had the same level of focus on cooperative development. It was interesting, the Co-op and Mutuals report that came out last week, I think, or the week before, from Cooperatives UK, that showed that Wales leads the way on new start cooperatives across the UK, which is great, and hopefully showcases the impact that CWMPAS is having. But the actual size of the cooperative economy compared to other parts of the UK is a lot smaller, and the investment in the capacity of the cooperative development hub would be really crucial, I think, to ensuring that gap is shortened. And then finally, on this, employee ownership. This is an area where we've seen lots of success. In the last programme for government at the Welsh Government level, there was the commitment to double the number of employee-owned businesses in Wales. It was around 30, 33, I think, at that time. And we're on the brink of reaching the 100th employee-owned business in Wales now. So that's shown actually we've more than doubled the size of the sector. There's huge demand for it there, and all the benefits that come with that. So on top of that, we're calling for maintained support. We want to double the number of employee-owned businesses in Wales again over the next 4 years. To do that, we're going to need continued support, but also support for businesses after transition as well, to ensure that the values of engagement, promoting worker engagement and everything are maintained after transition as well. So on this, there's a lot going on in this space in October, especially. Next week on Thursday, we've got the Social Business Wales Awards, which is a great celebration of the social business sector in Wales. So look out for that and look at all the people who win the awards, because it's a really inspiring day. On On the 21st of October, we are releasing the mapping of the social business sector in Wales, which shows the shape of the sector, the size of the sector, and gives a health check on the sector as well. And at that point, we're also publishing a social enterprise manifesto, which has got 6 key asks about social enterprise specifically in Wales, one of which is around education, which I know we're going to be talking about a bit later on in this meeting as well. That's a really important area. So that's, yeah, I'm going to put lots of links and everything in the chat after this with opportunities to sign up for those events. 9 key asks as well after this. So around community ownership, this is something that's really key. You know, Wales is falling behind England and Scotland in terms of the rights that communities have to develop community ownership, and to ensure that that's something that communities can access. And this is a real central to our ask, and we want to see community ownership being valued and seen as part of, you know, economic development policy, community development policy, and being seen as a really big asset within that. Thirdly, we're looking at health. So, you know, to ensure that Wales has communities in which, you know, people can lead strong, healthy lives, we need to make sure that the small-scale, community-owned and community-led, community-based enterprises are able to survive and thrive. And we want to look at that specifically. We've also got an ask around the Welsh Government facilitating research into community health cooperatives as a solution to the GP's numbers challenge in Wales. Fourthly, around social care. So we're really lucky in Wales to have lots of cooperative social care organisations that do amazing work in multifaceted ways, and we want to ensure that those models are really valued within Welsh Government social care policy. So there's a specific ask around that and the potential and the proactive work that the government can do to develop cooperatives in that sector. Fifth, looking at the net zero transition, we know this is going to be an area of priority. This has to be something that is ramped up in Wales, and there's huge potential for cooperative and social business models to maximise the benefit of that and ensure that there's a just transition in Wales that has the impact on communities and on workers and on people at the heart. Whether it's community energy, retrofit co-ops, there was a report released by Cooperatives UK recently, community-led nature programs, lots of social businesses doing amazing work on nature in Wales. It's pivotal that cooperative and social business models are seen as a huge asset in that challenge. Next is digital inclusion. Digital inclusion is an area that CWMPAS has been working on for a long time. It's an area that Wales has led on. You know, we're doing really good work on ensuring that everyone can fully participate confidently and securely in the digital services and digital economy. And you know, we've got specific asks about how Wales can continue to lead on that, specifically on looking at a minimum digital living standard as well, and ensuring that the research has been done on that is implemented. Next is you know, democracy and ensuring that there are cooperative approaches to ensuring that everyone can participate in our democracy and the design of the services. I think that's a really interesting area of work, and the cooperative solution can be pivotal to that. Also, we've been looking at media literacy within that as more and more of our discussions and goes online. Ensuring that everyone can fully participate in a confident way is pivotal. That's an area that CWMPAS has been working on that we're looking to develop further. Number 8 is housing. We've released a Vision for the Future report on community-led and cooperative housing specifically. We've got key asks about how that can be you know, really accelerated in Wales. We've got the report which has specific asks on that, which I'll send as well. Specifically around finance, we've got a really strong pipeline now in Wales because of the service that CWMPAS has been delivering. Communities creating homes. How can we move that pipeline into a real housing solution to lots of people in Wales? That's the report that sets that out, and that's an area that's a real priority for us. Number 9 is Welsh-language. So CWMPAS has been delivering the Perthyn project, which has been supporting and facilitating cooperative and social business models within areas of high second home density in Wales to protect the Welsh language. That's been really successful, and we've got lots of amazing case studies of businesses and community-owned organisations that have been pivotal in you know, developing and rebalancing the economy into one where the Welsh language can thrive. And we want to see that expanded to be across Wales. So even in areas where the Welsh language isn't as strong, there's those community-owned businesses and services that are embedding the Welsh language and providing opportunities for people to learn, practice, and use the Welsh language. Uh, and then finally, it's the rural economy, and already cooperative models play an absolutely essential role in the rural economy. We had a cross-party group meeting a few months ago, which brought together lots of the big farmer co-ops in Wales, alongside the newer community food growing initiatives in Wales. You know, those initiatives can learn so much from those large-scale farmer cooperatives, and ensuring that there's that connection within the sector is key. And there's a lot of potential opportunities there, both within the rural economy, where I think those models really need to be valued and seen as a key part of rural development strategy, but also in more urban areas as well. Those community food growing initiatives, and ensuring that cooperative food sector is really joined up, I think, is going to be key. So those for 10 asks, lots of different areas. The key thing is, everyone who's thinking of a challenge that Wales faces, we want them to see cooperative models and cooperative values being seen as a crucial part of that, of the solution to those challenges. And we're really interested in working with anyone who's interested in the development of those policies. These policy recommendations are built on the work that's going on within CWMPAS every day, knowing the context in Wales, the challenges that communities or businesses are facing in developing these solutions. But if we do this, it can be a real, this opportunity to really put this at the heart of the agenda is huge for us. It can be a real catalyst for growth of the cooperative economy, and Wales stands to gain so much from that. And we really welcome any questions and discussion of this, further today and in the future as well. So diolch yn fawr iawn.
Thank you, Dan.